Greetings. I'm Father Paul Demuth, and I am a senior priest of the Diocese of Green Bay, helping out each weekend at St. Bernard's in Appleton. Over the years, every now and then people will come up with a confidence to me that really impresses me. I think of the fella or the woman who on occasion will come up and say, "Hey, Father, I just want you to know I quit my job. I couldn't stand it anymore. The morals and the shenanigans that were going on at work were just against everything that I believe. It was time for me to leave." And then on the world scale, we're all thinking about the good Queen Elizabeth and the lack of stance that she could take on any immediate subject. It was against the Constitution. So she had to stand above World War II and above Brexit and above the family scandals. But the thing that people have said about her that is so marvelous is that she was a woman who was able to bring stability to the Commonwealth. She said there was a steadiness in her voice, in her actions, that kept people at peace, no matter what. Well, we need that. On the individual level, on the community level, we need people who can reach out beyond their own self-interests and be able to work for the common good. That's so much needed today in our society. But we got an example in the gospel today of someone who was very much involved in a messy situation and who wasn't the ideal. He was in a pickle and he had to get out of it. And so sit down and write 80 instead of 100. I think you can bargain your way out of the situation. He was actually commended for, in the messiness of the situation, for trying to be able to make things right. Well, you can come down on one side or the other, but I think for every one of us, none of us are totally pure. We're all involved in mixed motives. We're all involved in ways that are not exactly what the Lord wants. And yet, people who are in the mess of everything are the ones so often that can make a change for us. I think of the person who stands up for another person in a situation where gossip is gone rampant. I think of the reformed alcoholic who spends his years in sobriety being sponsored for other men and women who are struggling with the same disease that they had. And I think of people who are in politics, who, as messy as that is, continue to live by their principles. So I think today we need to, first of all, pray for those in leadership. We need to pray for people, whether it is in the family situation, in government, in the workforce, in nonprofits, in education. Pray for leaders that they can really have that sense of principles and be able to get through the weeds of everything, to be able to speak on behalf of what is right. And then I think if we can just hold up as examples for others where someone has changed their ways, where they've made a difference, where there's been a tremendous impact, maybe in a small circle, or maybe in a large one, but has made a difference in the people around them, in the small society or in the large. You know, we're coming up on the election cycle, although it seems like the election cycle is forever. But as you decide who to vote for, you're not going to find a perfect candidate, I don't think. I've never seen one. But look at the principles of our faith. Look at the principles of your life. And then see whom you can vote for that stands up for the faith and for the Catholic principles and the social justice that is central to who we are as a people. That's not always easy. And you and I are going to have to make some tough choices. But for the betterment of society, for moving us just an inch or two, or a foot or two, or a mile or two ahead, that's who we can be. That's who our society can become. Pick them when you vote. It's a messy world. But you know, in the midst of it all, there's example after example of people who are truly faithful, who truly make the right decisions, who are steady as she goes. God bless, and may you and I, at least some of the time, be one of those people.